Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Galloway and Isbell podcast. My name is Thomas Galloway. To my right,
Evan Isbell.
How are you doing today, Evan?
I'm exhausted, but I'm ready and pumped for this podcast.
Awesome. Across from me,
Noah Galloway.
Noah, how are you doing?
Doing great. Finished a 7-mile run this afternoon.
Awesome.
My thighs are feeling tight.
Yeah. And across from me,
Caden DeSilva.
return to the podcast. Caden, how are you doing?
A little tired, but I'm good.
Good. And for his first time on the podcast,
Dane Christner.
Dane. Dane, how are you doing?
Legs are a little sore.
Yeah?
But,
It happens.
yeah.
Why is that, bro? Why is that?
Hitting the squats pretty hard lately.
So, are you excited to be on the podcast?
Yeah, dude.
We're
Been
really-
wanting to get on it for a while. So.
Yeah, we've been trying to make this happen.
Yeah.
Oh, we're really excited to have you here.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun time.
It's a
Good,
pleasure, bro.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, so Noah, give us a brief outline of what we're talking about today.
So we're talking about why zoos shouldn't exist.
So that's your general argument.
Yeah,
And then we're
yeah.
going to talk about both sides.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of some general information is that the animals suffer from mental issues, mental health issues, physical issues, and a logical response, counter argument would be that the kids because since when they look at the animals it increases their awareness for them, and then they will go out when they get older, and then they'll start helping the environment just because
They'll be inspired and
Yeah,
more
exactly.
likely to donate to
because they were inspired by looking at the zoos and the animals in the zoo.
Yeah.
I also think
Yeah.
it's important to note that, so I was talking to my roommate today. He's from a big city, and he's like, in the city, you don't, see animals.
Right.
Right.
You don't see critters. And so, maybe in a big city, it's kind of important for kids to, be like, oh, this is an animal. Instead of just, being like, an animal is this distant thing far from you.
Right.
Yeah. When's the last time you guys have been to a zoo? Anybody?
Probably when I was, 9
a year
or
or so
10 or
ago.
11.
Years ago?
Oh, I might have been 14.
I was 14. I was a freshman in high school last time I went to the zoo. And that was mainly because of Noah.
Right.
Because Noah really wanted to go to the zoo, and we spent
For sure.
8 hours there.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a really long time. I was thinking back about my zoo experiences and how I feel like every single time I've been disappointed by zoos.
That's fair.
You always go and expect something
Right.
really exciting to happen, and then you're like, oh, we're going to see a tiger, and the tiger just laying there or walking around super slowly, and they do look kind of depressed. We
Right.
might be reading a little too much into animals, because what do animals look like in the wild? A lot of times they are probably just sleeping or just kind of walking around slowly, but then every so often they do super awesome things.
Yeah.
Speaking of tigers, there's a zoo in Indonesia, and it's called the Zoo of Death, and there's a lot of animal cruelty there.
I wonder why they call it
And-
the Zoo of Death.
But check out this picture of a tiger right here.
I think it should be noted
Right there.
that the
Super
zoo is
scenic,
not
yeah.
called itself
Yeah.
that. It's like a nickname.
Right, that's just the
It's a nickname.
It's not like
it's not that.
we're gonna be the worst zoo in the world,
yeah,
and we're gonna treat our animals like garbage.
yeah.
Yes.
Dane, if you were to go to a zoo, what is the longest amount of time that you could spend there?
Okay, so I went to a zoo on senior trip, so
Yeah.
it actually hasn't been a while.
Okay.
So I forgot about that.
Okay, bro.
But, like you said, the animals that I was excited to see, it wasn't, they were laying in the corner, so or somewhere where you can't see them, you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, and it'd be so the longest time, depending on obviously the size of the zoo,
Yeah.
that I could spend is probably hour and a half, 2
Hour and a half.
hours.
Yeah, I can roll through a zoo pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I was thinking about the monkeys are basically the only exhibit.
Exactly. I was just about to say that the
Yeah.
monkeys.
They deliver.
Yeah.
the monkeys.
They are there to
90% of the
entertain.
time they deliver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we talked about the last time you went to the zoo. Has anybody ever had an incredible zoo experience?
No, nothing's ever
Yeah.
incredible.
Never.
Actually,
No.
there's this one time when I was at the zoo,
Yeah.
and you know those videos when the gorilla comes and runs up at the glass.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened to me. I mean,
Okay.
I'm sure it happens to a lot of people. But I was like, oh, this is cool,
Yeah.
because I'm like, I don't know. I was and that's like a testament to like how probably it's not a good psychological situation for the monkey to be like, for the gorilla to be like this.
Rage.
But like I was just standing there and like the gorilla ran at the glass and like boom, and it was a big sound.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was scary, but I was like, I kind of, you know, like you feel bad for the monkey because you're like, I don't know.
Right.
But like, how angry would you be? Like, if you were like the most infuriated you have ever been in your life, and like you literally can't do anything about it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so one thing I was thinking about was when we look at these animals, we think about how if we were in that situation, we would want to be doing something that wasn't like that enclosed and that comfortable, basically.
Right.
So like, I think most of us, like, we want challenges in our lives and stuff. We don't always want to be this comfortable lifestyle, this, you know, super laid back lifestyle. So I was wondering, are animals, but there are a lot of people who are that way, it seems like. A lot of people are kind of going after that comfortable lifestyle.
Right.
So what do we think the breakdown of animals is? Say if it's like 80-20 humans, so 80% of humans are okay with the relaxed lifestyle. What do you think with animals? Because there could be a lot of animals out there that are actually cool with this arrangement.
The situation.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I don't die from something killing me, and I get food all the time. I guaranteed food source. I get to relax a lot. Like, I don't really know. Maybe there's some species that are just perfectly fine
I think it's
with
like,
that.
you know, the way we bred dogs to be less aggressive and basically more friendly.
Yeah.
I think it would have to be something like that. Like, I don't think you could pull this animal that's thriving in the wild and just like surviving in survival mode all the time and put it in a situation like first generation animals are probably not a good choice to have in the zoo. Like, if it was born in the wild and it got to like went through puberty in the wild, surviving on its own, that's not a good. I don't think that's a good situation. Like second generation, like born and bred in captivity, maybe. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I'm just thinking like.
Yeah,
I think that would definitely be good because on a different podcast I was talking about like your subconscious mind and how you develop it the first 5 years of your life. It's kind of the same thing with animals. Like the first couple of months or years of their life, their subconscious mind is developing. So when they're in that zoo, when they're first born, that's all they know.
Right.
So they get used to it and they're probably pretty happy.
Yeah, one of those videos said that there's like a few hundred pandas at one of the zoos, and only a few of them had been released into the wild.
Yeah, so only 5 of...
Yeah.
The quote was like, only 5 of the pandas that were bred in captivity were released into the wild, and only 2...
Yeah,
only
2 died.
Of them,
2 died shortly thereafter.
Yeah, 2 died.
At least. Yeah.
Also, there's something called the hassle factor, which basically means that animals kind of need some sort of difficulty in getting their food.
Mm-hmm.
So what that would mean is, like, for example, cheetahs, like, instead of giving them processed food, to give them a carcass.
Mm-hmm.
Then they kind of mull over that, and that wears down the molars in their teeth, which is to get it back to like proper size instead of.
And I think like I looked into it a little bit more than that. I thought about it like the hassle factor, like making it more fun. Like think about like life in general. When things are just a little bit hard, you're like, oh, this is more fun. Like,
Absolutely.
It'd be a lot more fun like eating on this like dead carcass.
Right.
I don't know, for an animal probably, than like just eating this mush.
It would be more satisfying. Like, I'm assuming some animals, like, there has to be a little bit. Maybe we overestimate it enough because we always are trying to do these different achievements. But there has to be some element of the satisfaction of killing something when you ran at full speed or had to hunt it all day.
Yeah, like our brains are wired to be satisfied by things, and their brains have to be. There have to be because like that's why they survive. Like they wouldn't survive in the wild unless their brain was wired to tell them like go kill this animal, go like eat.
Right. Right. The animals that would get like beyond just the satiation of their hunger, they would get a extra element of satisfaction from it, would probably be more likely to survive longer. Yeah. Okay, so one of the main counter arguments was the education inspiration aspect of it, where people who would be they would be more likely to be interested in animals and do positive research in the future for them if they were exposed to them early on.
Right.
And I was thinking about how many. Well, first of all, they talked about the whole thing of people have access to YouTube and documentaries more likely now, so you have other ways to be inspired by animals. But how many people do you think that are truly interested in animals that would actually have a positive impact on animals would not be interested in animals because there's no zoos? Like the no zoo aspect would completely take away any inspiration they had. I feel like these people who are truly interested in helping animals would still be inspired through different sources.
Right, and this comedian brought up kind of a counter argument, like you were saying, how kids are obsessed with like dinosaurs that don't exist anymore,
Yeah.
and things that have never existed, like Skylanders. I don't even know what those are, but he was saying that.
You don't know what a Skylander is?
No, I don't.
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but you don't know what a Skylander
Nah,
is,
dude,
dude?
nah.
Bro, oh man, that's another pod.
So basically, his point was that you don't need to see an animal in the flesh. You can just watch one of those Nature Planet or whatever they're called videos to get inspired.
Yeah, a testament to that is when I was like 4, I didn't watch any documentaries or anything about dinosaurs. Hadn't seen Jurassic Park or anything, and I knew like every single name of dinosaurs.
And
like, how does that happen?
Exactly. I think like the reason we're inspired by animals is like I'm so much more inspired when I watch a documentary on like Discovery Channel or like the History Channel than like when I go to a zoo, because they're just, like you said, they're just laying there. And it's like not real, but like when you see them actually doing their stuff, like wow, that's cool. And like I can only imagine what it would be like to go on safari. Absolutely. And did I mention like I went to Spain and like I went to Costa Rica?
What was that, bro?
So like not too long ago, like 2 years ago, I was in Costa Rica. Like actually, 2 years ago this day, I think I was getting back from Costa Rica. But
dang, bro,
that's another pod on
That's
it.
wild.
But anyway,
how have we not talked about that before?
But anyway, in Costa Rica, there was these like monkeys that would like climb around, and it was the coolest thing. Like at first, I didn't know what was going on because they're howling monkeys, and I don't know if you know what a howling monkey is.
Does it howl?
But it howls. It howls like like a wolf, dude. It goes like ah, like it literally. I'm not joking. It's like oh, that's what it sounds like, but like more intense and more yelly, and like. And when they're doing that, that means like they're pooping, basically.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But these monkeys, so like there was in my yard there was mango trees, and it was so cool because they would like be climbing around in the mango trees and then like walking on the wires. Oh, it was so cool, and like seeing those, I was like super chill.
Yeah. So as I was reading some of these articles, the one thing I thought about was, okay, so. We complain about the zoos, but I feel like the biggest culprit would be people having these animals as pets.
Oh yeah.
It's like if you don't really address that, if you just focus on the zoos, you're kind of, I feel like, missing the bigger picture. And I have so when I was at work today, I Googled how to buy a tiger. And went on this incredible little rabbit hole. I have some questions for you guys. First of all, how much do you guys think, you can give me a dollar range, how much do you think it costs to buy a tiger cub? Dane, what do you think?
I'm gonna say $60,000.
$60,000. Okay. Anybody else have any guesses?
I'd say between 10 and 15,000.
I'd say 5 and 15.
5 and 15.
Sound like 150.
This is gonna shock you guys. It ranges from $900 to $2,500, and could go higher than that. But a lot of them between $900 and $2,500.
Dude,
tons of research. That is insane. Now, you do have the possibility that some of these could be scams, I guess, where they say, "Oh, we're selling a tiger for $800."
Wow.
And then you never
I get that email.
You never get your tiger.
Yeah, I always get that email like,
"Do you want a tiger?"
But honestly, it doesn't feel like a scam because you're still paying like a lot of money. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Joe Rogan's stand-up special. He said that there are more tigers living in captivity in Texas than the rest of the world combined.
There's definitely more in the U.S. because there's 5,000 pet tigers in the U.S., which is more than the entire world, and it's possible to Texas. So, in 8 states, you can own a tiger without any kind of permit or whatsoever. In a few other states, like 14 other states, you can get a tiger with a tiger permit.
Why wouldn't you want to play?
Yeah,
to be honest.
We're not one of the unregulated ones, and I don't know if we're one of the permit states. It didn't say.
You know, actually, this doesn't really surprise me because my great grandma lived across the street from like this woman who like she was a pet, like this animal lover or something. Well, she liked having animals, and I'm pretty sure she had a big cat, and she had a big snake, and like plenty of other snakes.
Yeah, they also eat 15 pounds of meat a day.
Wow.
No, I'm good. How would you pay for all that?
Yeah, it's pretty
So
crazy.
much money, actually.
But I also went to this this site called newlife-exoticpets.com, and they have like different products, which are tiger cubs or cheetah cubs. Like that's their different products. And then they have
Wait, a product?
yeah, they refer to them as
Just a cat.
products. And then they have reviews. So I read some reviews. I don't know if it's completely legit or not, but it still made me laugh. Will I have to walk it every day, and have you guys already named them? If I do have to walk them, is it an issue if you live in the city? Because I don't want the risk the tiger getting hurt in London. How do you send the tigers over? I don't want them to be stressed. Where do you live? I'll go personally and get him. And then there was another one. Then the leopards. I was reading cheetah cubs.
Dude, I love cheetahs though.
Cheetah's pretty cool.
Honestly, I want a cheetah cub.
Cheetah cubs.
That'd be so cute.
5
So
stars. And then this guy. There's just a bunch of crazy people on here reviewing these animals, but most of them aren't actually reviewing them. They're just asking for them basically. But yeah, that's how I spent part of my afternoon, looking through reviews. Okay, so back to more questions about zoos. There's this wildlife.org, and they had a bunch of questions you should ask your zoo. And one of them was like, what is the main purpose of the zoo?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What do you guys think the main purpose of the zoo should be?
Main purpose of a zoo?
Yeah.
I
I think
think.
it's. Oh, you go.
No, you go. You go.
Well, I think it's just to show. So obviously, people in America aren't going to be able to see an
Mm-hmm.
elephant ever, or aren't going to be able to see a tiger. So I think the purpose of a zoo is to be able to show people that don't have access to be able to see those animals in real life.
Yeah.
To be able to have the opportunity to see them. I think that's
Yeah.
the purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think what it should be is like you're talking about. Are we gonna get to like how to fix it?
Yeah.
Is that something we're gonna? All right. Well, I got
Anytime
something.
we can dive into that, go for it.
All right. So a way we could fix it is not having like every animal we find in the zoo, just like the injured ones or the ones that need
Yeah.
help. We bring
Right.
those in,
Mm.
and then we nurse those, and then people could just walk through and.
Yeah, like an animal. It's like this is something I forgot to bring up. So with my job, I have to go around campus a lot, and we went to Vet Med today. And Vet Med, I don't know if you know, is like a place where they take care of animals, but it's super high security because there's like drugs for the animals, like ketamine. Ketamine's like a horse tranquilizer, but like people use it as drugs, and I think that's why it's high security. But anyway, we gotta go in there, and we had to work. And there was like this horse. It was like super big. I'm like, oh, it's so cool. It's a horse. And it's like, because I don't see horses.
Yeah.
You know? But like, I don't know. That was a cool experience. Just seeing the horse being taken care of and like, I don't know. I think that's a good idea. Like a nursing area for animals.
Yeah.
And you just see them being nursed back to health.
Yeah. And I feel like that would be just inspirational if you could actually see animals who they don't just seem depressed. They seem like, okay, this is actually something we can rehabilitate this animal. Feel like that'd be inspiring to people.
I think the only downside of that is like, how often is it that you find an animal that's just hurt enough to take care of it and like not actually just dying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were saying in the video that the zoo's purpose is to save animals, but you're not saving them when they're suffering from all these mental illnesses and physical
Or when they're
issues.
dying 20 years younger.
And
Yeah.
there's some study that said that lions were like spent like 48% of the time in captivity just pacing around.
Yeah.
Which you see
Which
that
they
all the
should be
time.
hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big cats were easily the most depressing. Partly because I feel like they were the ones I was most excited to see anytime I went to the zoo.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's just you just see them laying there. Yeah, the pacing is the hardest part
Right.
because that actually feels like energy that they want to get rid of,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and that feels like something you do when you just are like you're just anxious.
For real. Like cheetahs, they can run like 95 miles an hour or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like 75.
something crazy.
What if they changed the zoo and just had one big pen and put all the animals in that one pen?
Oh, dude.
And then they all
Who do
kill
you
each other.
who do you think would win? Who do you
That
think
would
would
be
be the
the
last man
monkeys,
standing?
the monkeys would be the last one standing because they can.
Really?
they
How
can
many
climb.
of okay? So in this Noah's
Yeah,
Ark,
but cheetahs and leopards can also climb, but then
But, like-
monkeys can get away though.
Like all the way up.
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah, because
I have a quick
then
question.
monkeys are more agile
Yeah.
in the trees. At least.
but
How
this is
does,
a good
uh,
question.
How does Noah's Ark Zoo, Noah's Ark Zoo? How does this? How many animals does each animal? Like how many bros does it get?
3. It's a
Three.
it's a trio group.
Trio.
So I think a
trio.
lot of it has to do with how well they can work together.
Yeah,
So I think the
definitely.
lions,
Right.
the cats will do really well, and the wolves because they are really.
Yeah, the biggest.
Will anything kill the elephant?
I don't think so. I think the elephants are.
So the elephant
big.
probably wins.
But they're not gonna. The elephant's not gonna kill anyone.
Yeah.
Are they?
They're just gonna.
I think the
win.
They're just
hippo.
gonna-
I think the hippo's gonna win.
right.
Well, how long do
but the elephant could
elephants
just-
live?
What about the rhinos though?
Rhinos.
Rhinos are
Actually,
pretty
that
dangerous.
kind of feeds into elephants in zoos live about 17 years compared to the wild. They live about 35-ish years.
Okay, so this is basically a zoo, though.
So
Um,
Yeah.
So basically, I
this
think
is
it's,
more of a time game now.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. If nobody kills the elephants just chill
You're just
until
gonna
everyone
hang tight
dies.
and let everybody kill everybody.
Wave
Wait.
their peace flags.
So like, are you saying you're gonna put all the animals
Yeah.
in one big area
Exactly.
and not feed them?
this
So they
Because they feed on each other, bro.
So that's a good
yeah,
point,
each other.
though.
No,
yeah.
no.
Okay.
So
well,
the cats, if they get rid of everybody, yeah, they won't have any more food, but they're gonna get hungry enough that they're gonna
They're
find a
gonna
way to
starve.
kill the elephants.
Yeah.
they're gonna try, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll get desperate
So-
enough.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So,
That's a good point.
and I've seen lions take down elephants before. So.
Yeah. With your own
Oh,
eyes.
Joe
Like,
Rogan.
Well, no,
There's like,
no,
you can,
like
you can
online.
find a clip on YouTube. It's Joe Rogan talking to somebody else about these chimpanzees who allegedly were killing lions. So go look that up. Yeah.
That sounds like
So,
I don't want to say it. Fake news.
Yeah.
Dude. Okay, this is about animals. We had this huge debate at school. So, do you think a grizzly bear would win in a fight or a silverback gorilla?
grizzly bear.
Grizzly.
I'm gonna have to go with the silverback gorilla.
Is it
You guys see the video of the two silverbacks fighting each other?
Sounds scary.
They're-
Is
they're
that
like-
like
Omaha Zoo, yeah.
It's like two superheroes fighting each other. It's wild.
It's really
Yeah.
it's like
So-
two heavyweight UFC
And
guys
then
fighting.
I
each other.
searched the
on
stats
steroids.
and everything.
Yeah.
And like, so the grizzly bear outweighs the silverback by a lot, but the gorilla apparently is 4 times stronger. Than
Yeah.
the-
Okay.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why I'm thinking
Yeah,
that's
they're
wins
pretty
is
packed.
stronger.
Pound for pound, they're
I know.
ballers. Yeah.
I know. So I was arguing that the
gorilla could-
gorilla would win,
Yeah.
but everyone thought that the size.
No.
The size
But they're so much
Gorilla
more
can
agile
talk,
and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
And they're strong. Well, I mean,
I just don't think
And
there's-
faster. I think speed plays a lot of role in it because
Exactly,
like
yeah.
that's why like bears would destroy us because they can
Alright,
outspeed
here's
us.
this video.
I don't know if we're technically allowed to. Just mute that. Mute it.
The gorilla could just knock the bear.
Wow, this is crazy. So right now
Look
we
how
are
powerful that is.
Look
That
at
is
those butts.
crazy.
Those
So-
butts are huge.
so we're currently watching two gorillas fight each other.
Like,
Oh, look at that
in a
jump.
zoo.
That jump is amazing.
And it is insane because
Look
these
at
things
that.
are so huge.
Oh my goodness.
Just imagine like one of those
It's
fighting
literally
something.
a boxing match.
That sucked. That fighting.
Well, like that's just
Or-
smaller
yeah, like
and
John
not
Jones or something.
It wouldn't look anything like that.
I
you know
had
what
a
mean?
dream that Noah was fighting a silverback the other night, and I was like just kind of chilling and watching, and you were like kind of holding around, and I woke up in the morning and thought about this video and was like, that's absurd.
Yeah.
Like, this thing would
Yeah.
destroy
No, it's
a
ridiculous.
human.
You know that scene from Avengers where the Hulk is just destroying Loki, where he's like
Oh.
tossing him around like a
yeah,
rag doll.
we smashing him. Yeah.
That's what I imagine what would happen
Yeah.
if any of us went up against a silverback.
Yeah, so you were voting on the silverback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Do you remember another hypothetical that you had that I thought at the time was perfect podcast material about that?
Yeah,
You
I
got-
do.
Go for it.
So it was okay. So it was. Would you rather fight one duck that's the size of a horse, or wait, right?
One,
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
duck.
One duck.
One
that's the size-
horse-sized duck.
One horse-sized duck, or 12 duck-sized horses.
Duck-sized horse.
I'm
Absolutely.
gonna have to go with
Horses.
the duck-sized horse.
Basically,
So
Yeah.
you just move the number of duck-sized horses up and down depending on what people say. Till you find
Yeah.
what is the number. So I think we can agree that up until a certain number, obviously you would rather fight the little horses.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, how big
What's-
is a duck?
No, how big is a horse though?
Horses are
Horses are big.
Exactly.
A duck that's the size
You know
of
how scary ducks are though? Ducks
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
But,
Well,
but
okay.
because they have the snappy things.
yeah,
Horses
and they got those like little
Okay. So
things.
at 12 duck-sized horses.
So a horse would be like a duck-sized horse would be like that big or something.
12
Yeah.
of them.
12, yeah.
But are they all
I could
tiny?
just,
All
like,
of them
go up
coming at
and,
you.
and like punt
Wait,
it.
wait.
But there's 12 though.
That's
so when
true.
while you're
Okay, that's
putting one,
literally
there's
just like-
11 others.
Right.
Sure.
Well,
But okay, hold up. So the dimensions of a duck or the weight of a duck? Because if it's the weight of the duck, I could do it. If it's the size,
Dimensions.
okay, I can't do that because
Dimensions,
the
yeah.
duck.
Ducks.
Just
size.
imagine 12 dogs
Exactly.
running at you.
Exactly.
No
Yeah.
way.
Okay,
Even,
so
but the
you-
horse, you're still gonna lose.
Yeah, I would still rather fight the little
It's a
horses.
lose-lose
Absolutely.
situation.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
So at 12, what are you saying for 12? Who would you
Do
rather?
you think I would win?
No, you would die.
Who would you, who
It's
would
just
you rather
how do you
take?
wanna die?
How do you, how, well,
Duck
what's your
size.
best chance of survival?
The ducks.
The duck.
duck?
Horse
The
size
little.
ducks.
The horse.
Because
You're just
well,
ducks-
actually the horse size because okay,
Yeah, 'cause
you
you're
would
not
die more slowly
Mhm.
the horse size or the
Duck-sized
Duck-sized
horse.
horse.
Yeah.
it'd be a
But,
painful death.
yeah.
Yeah. it's,
But then the horse sized duck you would die quicker.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
think-
Well,
do
then
you
the
think you
other
could
thing
beat
is,
it?
I
think you
believe I could beat 12 horses, little horses.
But do you think you could beat the? That's what I'm like. Do you
That-
think
that
you could
would hurt
beat
a
a
lot, 'cause
horse?
you know
okay,
how I
the
would,
thing is,
bro.
you
Yeah,
can
it would hurt.
outsmart one duck. You can't outsmart 12 horses.
well, I guess
Exactly.
the
So you
question.
would take the duck.
Now that I'm thinking about it
Yeah.
more clearly, I think I would take the duck.
Wait,
because
what do we do to piss him off in the first place?
Well, yeah.
We're not
But
asking.
how do you kill the duck?
What the question
you
is?
have to think outside the box. You
Exactly.
can't just go
Right.
fighting hand on hand.
The question
You
is.
die.
The question is, do we have to actually kill it, or can you just get away?
No, you have to kill it.
Is this a fist
I
fight?
have to
It's
kill
fighting.
it. So then I'm still taking the little guys, the little
You
horses. Yeah.
Absolutely.
At 12. So then you just like change his number to whatever makes it like the hardest to decide.
What we should just
Right.
do is look up horse weakness spots or duck weakness spots
Yeah.
and find out which one has the biggest weak spot. Because with sharks, you just punch them in the eye.
Exactly.
And they're out cold.
And then no problem.
Bop.
Yeah.
So-
Jaws over.
Yeah, and like a hoof of a duck-sized horse
Yeah.
is not gonna do much damage. Like, how are they gonna like hurt you? Like,
That
how are
would-
horses
that would
gonna
still-
hurt
they-
you?
Oh,
And,
like-
I just realized you can use the horse-sized duck, the duck-sized horse. You can use the duck-sized.
Everybody.
Okay, so what you do when you're fighting the 12 duck-sized horses? You grab one of those duck-sized horses, you grab another duck-sized horse, and you use them as weapons.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're only fighting 10 duck-sized horses because you now have 2 duck-sized horses as weapons.
True.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's no way you're killing the horse-sized duck. This is a monster.
I don't know. I feel like we
Okay.
could.
I would like make that.
You definitely
make
could
those-
because it would
make it
be
20.
fat.
I would still go with the horse-sized duck.
The horse.
This
the,
game is
the
hard.
The horse-sized duck would definitely be weaker.
The horse-sized duck.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
so, like, ducks
it's not
eat-
meant to be that big.
Yeah.
So let's
So it'd
let's
be
think about this.
I was.
What is a duck's like weapon?
It's beak. That's the
Okay,
only
it's
thing.
Have
beak.
you seen the ducks
Exactly,
on
right?
campus?
So you'd have a
Oh,
better
man.
chance.
It's
with
so
the-
scary.
Exactly. So do you think the ducks eat their food right whole, right? They don't chew their food. So do you think the ducks?
No, I think
do
they
you
bite
the-
it. They bite that food.
They do.
Yeah.
But
It's
they don't have
scary.
any teeth, do they?
No, but they got that beak. That beak is.
But do
sharp.
they?
Like,
They
what-
can't.
What
I
kind of
don't
duck
know.
is it? What
I
kind
think
of
they
duck
killed
is
the duck, or they killed the fish before they they bite it and it's.
it? Is a swan a duck?
I thought they just.
No,
I thought they do this. They just
Okay.
do that.
I don't know. I think we're thinking like the greenish black. What?
Okay.
I was thinking about the ducks on
I thought they eat
campus.
it.
The Ballard
whole.
duck or
I don't know. What are the
The ones
basic
that
ducks?
rush you on campus. Have you ever walked around Lake Laverne
Yeah, what are
and
the-
had like those
they're
ducks
pretty wild.
run at you and you're like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
die.
Yesterday when I was running 20 miles. I don't know if I mentioned that
Did
yet.
you run 20 miles?
I don't know if I did. I mention that
20
already? Did I mention
miles?
that already? I can't believe I haven't mentioned
That
that.
can't be. That can't be
Well-
right. Is your math right? Are you talking about 20 kilometers or 20 miles?
It must have been miles.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. There was some ducks, or what are the geese? Yeah, geese. Okay,
Jeez.
is duck? This is a broader question for probably none of us, but is a duck cover all the kind of little lake birds, pond birds, or like I don't know, like is a goose a duck?
No.
This is a
it's part
legitimate
of the-
question.
Well,
part of the
I mean, I think they're like there's a bird family, and
Yeah.
like they're in different groups.
They're definitely not like dogs.
Okay, no.
Or lions.
But I would say that a goose is more like a duck than a hummingbird. So, like, I mean, but
Yeah, that's true.
So there's ducks, and then there's birds, and then
wait, isn't a
inside
duck a
the
bird
duck-
though?
A duck's it goes bird, then duck.
Oh yeah, true. Bird, duck, and then.
But I think geese and ducks are completely different.
But I think
Okay.
they're homies, like, because they're still like water
Oh, I believe
birds.
that.
Well, yeah, they're definitely
Like
different,
they
but-
can kind of fly. They can kind of fly. Have you ever seen it? Yeah, they fly.
Yeah,
they
I've
fly,
seen it.
right?
Yeah.
They all fly. They all swim. They're not. I think they're like the powered birds. You know, they do all of it.
Yeah.
They're not like penguins where they just swim. You know.
Yeah.
But they're also not like ostriches, like run fast. They got it
Yeah.
all.
Who'd you rather fight? A goose-sized duck or a duck-sized goose?
I have a question. How would a horse-sized duck, how would that fare in that giant pool of animals, that giant pen?
Oh.
Horse-sized duck.
no, it
dead. I mean,
It's
Yeah, it's got
Lions.
weight points.
lions would
Right.
go after that like crazy.
Yeah, that
Absolutely.
neck is destroyed. And the thing is, so like giraffes have those long necks, but they also have those. Apparently, those knobs on the top of their heads are like weapons, and they use their necks like weapons.
Dude, yeah, they whip it.
They whip
They
it.
whip them around.
Okay.
They heard that
Let's-
song, and they're like, "Let's whip
What
it."
if we add the ability for the duck to breathe fire? How would that
Okay,
fare?
well then
Okay,
that's
yeah,
like
any-
It's just like a little bit, like a little
No,
stream,
just a
like
little
not,
bit.
not a ton, not like the
A little
dragons in Game of
stream?
Thrones. Yeah, just like a little
Just
stream.
like,
the lions would catch on fire and die.
yeah, pretty much.
I feel like
Or just be
Even with
naked.
the little stream.
it just
I think we're underestimating how strong a duck is.
Especially if
Nah.
it has fire.
Well, no, if it's outside the fire, just straight up duck.
Or animals
Like-
in general.
Yeah.
You know, animals are just crazy.
I really am terrified of the horse-sized duck.
Yeah.
it is big.
It would one, it wouldn't be very agile. Two, it would have a lot of weak points.
and it only has one weapon.
It's big, exactly.
Because it can fly though.
Is it
They can
as
fly.
agile
It'd be
as
so
a
big.
horse size as it is as duck size?
Well, if you're saying it's a horse-sized duck, it should be the horse.
Yeah, I think it's
attributes,
agile.
too.
Yeah.
Because the size would. Oh yeah, would the size allow it to still fly? Could it fly?
Yes.
As a horse?
Yeah,
I'd
I
say
think
so.
everything would increase.
Yeah, just
The
stay.
point that it can fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have another question.
But it'd be a lot slower though too. So.
What would be like your top pick for animal if you could just like, as far as entertainment value, just
Cheetah.
sitting on the back of the animal and riding it with reins or whatever you want.
Cheetah.
Just like watching
Pretty
it
fun.
do its stuff.
I've always said killer whale for this.
Cheetah, killer whale.
So are you
Killer
saying
whale.
like a pet?
Dude, rhino.
Just like
That would
any
always
wild-
be entertaining
like,
to you?
the most entertaining animal you could think of.
I'd say a monkey.
A monkey.
Oh,
Just
Silverback.
I don't know. I just watch videos with people like playing with them all the time and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to ride one.
But actually,
Yeah.
silverback. Now that you say
man.
it, silverback, just imagine riding on a silverback as it like climbs up a tree in the
Dude.
jungle.
that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, like 2 years ago we asked this question and you said hummingbird.
I said a hummingbird the size of like
Yeah, we could
a
change the size.
pterodactyl.
Oh, you can change
Okay,
the size
this
of the
is-
animal?
Well, originally we asked, yeah. Well, you'd have to for your monkey, bro.
Why?
Monkeys,
weigh that thing
you gonna
down.
ride on this size of a monkey?
Wait, we don't have to ride. I thought you said like most entertaining.
No, just
like you have to ride it like with reins and stuff.
Oh. Okay, well that's then my answer sounds stupid. Monkey.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay,
there's this,
what about a Cape Buffalo? And you get to sit on it with the reins and you just like grab onto it and you're looking around and these lions are like jumping on the flanks of the Cape Buffalo. And then all these like leopards and like hyenas, like all these animals are just like jumping up on you. That'd be pretty sick to watch.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But okay, let's change the question real quick. So
for it.
instead of it being you riding on it, like you have a battle buddy. In that you have one animal as a battle buddy. What animal? Like, and it's like
Do you get to ride it still?
you can ride it and you can fight by its side to the death.
I'd say gorilla.
Gorilla.
Silverback.
Silverback.
That'd be so cool, dude.
I'm probably still going with like a rhino, but this rhino probably has like some sort of rifle assist.
I got
It's got like it's got a shotgun.
kind of a fact about a rhino and why you probably shouldn't choose a rhino. Rhinos, they can't see very well.
It's a good point.
And so
They're not going to know
if
how to
you-
shoot.
Oh.
Their aim's going to be all messed up.
Yeah. And so if you ever encounter a rhino, which I doubt any of you will, but if you ever do, and it starts charging at you, the last thing you want to do is run, because then it can see you. It can see movement, and it'll get you. But if you just stand there, I know it would probably be really hard to just stand there. But if you stand there, it'll stop like right in front of you.
Yeah.
'Cause it-
That kind of reminds me of when you're driving and on a 2-lane road and someone's passing in the other lane and you're about to run into them, whether you don't do anything, you keep driving, and then they veer off to the side in the ditch, and then you don't die, because if you both veer off, you still have a head-on collision.
Right.
But if you just keep driving straight and don't do anything and let them veer off, do you guys think the question is?
Do you think he would veer off?
Do you think you'd have the balls just keep driving straight and not do
I have
anything?
no idea.
I have no idea either.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to slow down, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would probably do everything. It's tough.
Well, he's probably saying like.
Last moment.
Yeah,
It's
like last minute.
Yeah, they're in
Oh.
the lane and.
I was picturing like a mile away.
Just watching them.
I have a side-by-side animal, and I'm gonna take a python, wrap that around your arm, lasso that thing, and just like lasso it around other animals or like
Yeah.
whatever you're fighting.
Oh yeah, you're
Anaconda.
Like python, yeah.
Pull it towards you.
Anaconda.
Tighten around the neck, done, and just like reel it
Who's
back
that
in.
guy from Mortal Kombat? Scorpio? You got that like little chain thing?
Oh, Scorpion, yeah.
Scorpion? He like just
Get
shoots
over
you.
here.
Get over here.
Yeah.
But with a snake, you know, he's like, get over here. And you pull the. That'd be cool.
This is kind of cheating, I think, but I've always said killer whale for this. Like, guess who's not dying? Because they have a killer whale. Me.
It'd have to be an aquatic battle.
Yeah.
What about a sperm
So
whale?
if
I'm
you're
not
in
worried
the
about-
ocean just watching it, like,
I'm not exactly. That's the thing. I don't have to fight. I just
Oh,
go
yeah,
up to
but
my
if-
little island.
but if-
So
Take
What
a
if,
couple
what
ladies
if we're
with me.
fighting zombies and you just hop on your killer whale and swim away? It's like
That's why I said
okay,
it's
dude.
cheating.
That's kind of a.
That's why I said it's cheating.
That's kind of a KD move.
Okay.
What about sperm whale? 'Cause, okay, with sperm whale,
Oh,
like you
God.
could literally build a house inside your
Dry
sperm
pod,
whale.
bro.
wait, inside?
Dude, you know how big a sperm
Jonah,
whale is?
bro.
Oh, my bad, dude.
Dude, you know Jonah had some like good vibes about his sperm whale.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you have at least 3 days.
Or
Yeah.
so it's Jonah and then Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Who did it first, Pinocchio or Jonah?
Who knows?
Only
Beats
time
me.
will tell.
Okay. Okay. Then. So this is what I was thinking. As before I said killer whale, I knew I was gonna get a bunch of backlash. That's fine. When my backup was a lion, and I know it's not original, but if I'm gonna die, dying on a lion is the best way to die.
Okay. Okay, so now same question, but your animal can have a skill. Like it can heal you, it can shoot. Only one skill though.
Can I fly?
It can fly a plane.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, flying plane.
Like it can-
Plank gets shot down though.
Yeah, but like, or it can drive a car, but it can have one skill.
Okay.
So what are you fighting? That's the question.
That's a really good question.
Okay, so let's just say hypothetically, all five of us, five of us each.
Oh, we're fighting each other?
That sounds
We're all
fun.
fighting each other.
Oh, dude,
Oh.
let's go.
That'd be crazy.
Hmm.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm still gonna just go with my lion, even though I might not win. I understand there might be better options out there, but just to think that a lion would fight with you is a pretty cool feeling. The lion's like, yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
of
it's
our
like
like,
serious.
yo, dude, that lion fighting with Tommy? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Dang, Tommy's got a lion?
What
got- yeah, he got a
what
lion.
animal do you think would be like the coolest to just like hang out and chill,
Serbian
just,
white
like,
tiger.
that was
down,
quick.
hang out, chill, talk, just like a
Monkey.
long vacation, like a car ride, like a long car ride with. Just, like,
Dude, you know
hang
how
out.
much clout those Serbian white tigers have? They're
Wow,
like
bro.
they're the chillest animals.
Almost as much clout. Staying
I-
after this podcast.
Dude.
So
So much
feel
clout, I
like
can already
I'm
feel
gonna-
it.
I'm gonna have to go with the hyena, because like we're gonna be just like roasting people and just like laughing our heads off.
It's got a nice laugh.
Right, dude. Yeah.
Give you a little sample.
I feel like
At the beginning of the podcast, Dane's a little nervous. 35 minutes
Yeah.
in, making hyena
Making
noises.
hyena noises.
At least
I
at a
feel
point.
like-
Like he was doing it for like a reason.
Oh, absolutely,
It wasn't
yeah.
just like
I f-
random
No,
idea.
It wasn't just.
I completely dig it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What do you think is like the most pettiest animal? Like
Dog.
The
a
dung
de- I
beetle.
feel
Or
like
cat.
The
definitely a
dung
hyena.
beetle.
Like I feel
Wait.
like that thing would just like
Dung beetle.
would just like crawl up to like a pride of lions and just like tickle them or something.
Tickle them.
Yeah, or just, like,
hyena?
and then
No,
like
a
go away
hyena.
and laugh their heads off.
Dude, what
Got
the-
him,
I can see
guys.
that, bro.
That's true.
Uh,
Yeah, we've kind of gotten away from our
Which
pride.
animal's
Yeah.
the pothead? Like
I
which
would,
animal's the one that's like
Definitely a sloth, bro.
the sloth?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
90%.
Yeah, that was a good one.
They're already
Yeah, that was right.
Koala bear.
Koala bear.
yeah. It's
Dude,
it's
aren't those extinct?
What?
They were endangered. I don't think
No,
they're
dude,
extinct though.
the crack
Dude, look it
video,
up.
you know.
Yeah, I got That's funny.
What else?
No, I would go. So getting back on topic, I would go with. I would go with an anaconda
Kind of.
to fight because
But they're like,
It's
aren't they
too-
slow?
but how is
not
it?
if you're lassoing it, bro.
That's true.
Dude.
If you,
But
you can use it in
anacondas
so
are
many
like-
different
How
ways.
strong do you guys think you
And-
are?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can-
anacondas are huge. They're
Yeah,
pretty
and
strong.
they're like they put thousands of like pounds of force down on.
Oh,
something.
for
They're
sure.
pretty
Yeah, I'm
accurate.
saying like I feel like they're just
Pressure.
like.
Yeah. No, they can, when they want to move.
Let's go.
When they want to move fast, they can move.
Yeah,
But they can. The reason I would take it is because it's small. It's somewhat agile. It could probably take a hit if it needed to, but it's small enough that I don't think really anything could really attack it. Like he was saying, a lion.
Okay.
That's probably. I mean, it'd be hard for the lion to hit it, attack it.
Okay.
And
also
then-
got good camera.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now,
They
what
can- they
skill
can
would you
sneak
give
up.
your python?
They could sneak up on people. We can have anything.
Anything. It can shoot. It can be really good at computers.
What do you think the most like fun animal to be would be?
To be?
To
Yeah.
be flying, something flying. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
it doesn't have any
like-
predators.
I'll give it help.
Yeah.
I'll give it help.
Health.
Some sort of
extra-
songbird that just like
a
hangs
medic.
tight,
Yeah.
just like grabs some
a
seed
good
from
question.
people.
It is a good question.
What I think it'd be super fun to be an owl, like a crocodile, just like right underwater. Your eyes are just like bugged out, right above the water, and you're like, I'm a log.
Guys, I'm a log.
And then all these like gazelles and like wildebeest are coming up, and they're like, yeah, this is the only water we have in miles, so we're just gonna go
Yeah.
dip in, get some water, and then
Yeah, just like that. Well, I think this is the obvious answer once again. Is the killer whale. I'm serious, guys. No. Unless, listen to me on this. Unless you live in SeaWorld, you're living to about 100. They have incredible life
Okay,
expectancy.
this is a
Yeah.
good point.
And you have no
Wow.
predators, and you get to hunt with your bros. You hunt whales with your bros.
What about
That
all
is
the plastic
insane.
in the ocean, though? You're gonna be swimming
this,
Yeah,
in plastic.
this
I
gets
think mostly it'll be fun.
this should get
They
back
hunt
to
whales?
a good point.
Yeah, they hunt
Really?
whales as a
What
group.
is-
Yeah, they hunt baby
So, like,
whales.
there's groups of animals. What's the most unfair group out there? in
like
the
the
wild?
Are you
OP.
saying like
No.
dominant?
The
It's like,
overpowered
so
Most
yeah,
dominant?
most dominant. It's just like unfair. They are
Humans.
like all together.
humans.
It is definitely.
We're-
Besides humans.
Besides
Yeah,
humans.
that was a good one.
I was
It's definitely
thinking
humans, though.
wolves because they would absolutely demolish anything just by themselves. Or lions would be a good one.
The problem,
Lions aren't that OP though.
I feel like with the most dominant ones, the problem is that they don't. The problem is that there's just nothing available for them to hunt. Like the wolves, like when you put them in a situation where there's prey available, they're incredibly dominant. But when they just have to find it first, like the
Right.
wilderness is their kryptonite.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that you're all wrong, and the real answer is chihuahuas. Chihuahuas are the dominant species.
What about a horse-sized chihuahua? That thing would kill.
Yeah, that would be.
That'd be annoying.
Yeah,
But dude, apparently chihuahuas they group up like crazy, and like
Yeah.
people die.
apparently,
Death by Chihuahua.
how
apparently in Colorado, there was a pride of mountain lions that was spotted. It was like 8 to 10 mountain lions.
Wow.
And that's insane because
That's
they're
scary.
usually super kind of
Like,
on their own. Yeah, so
Yeah.
exactly.
How
Getting the band
how
together.
loud do you think a horse-sized Chihuahua would be?
Crazy loud.
Pretty
it'd
loud.
be so loud.
It'd be like, how many times bigger is a horse than a Chihuahua?
I have a feeling
Is that how many times louder it is?
that hasn't
So
been
do you know
Googled too
how,
often.
how much does a horse weigh? Because I think a Chihuahua weighs about 10 pounds.
I'm gonna say a horse weighs
Okay.
600 pounds.
10
Do you have any
pounds.
idea, actually?
So about
No.
100.
That's just a guess.
I
So like,
thought
that's
it
just
is.
an education.
So like
Yeah.
60,
Look up.
60 times the
Yeah.
size.
So that's 60 times louder.
I don't think that's how that. I think your math's off somewhere.
Okay, so horses weigh between
Yeah.
840
Wow, that's
to
close, guys.
2,200
A little bit
pounds.
off. A
Dude.
little bit off. It's
So
okay.
like what? 1,500 times louder?
yeah,
Or 150
that's
times
ear
louder?
piercing.
I actually think it would get quieter
Because it, yeah, I
because
was
its
thinking
voice
that.
gets lower.
And
But does it, though?
It doesn't feel the need to be super yappy because it's like, oh, I'm the man.
Yeah,
Isn't it the exact
like,
same
I've got the
thing?
attention.
Yeah, I don't need to bark.
I'm here.
I'm the size of a
I'm
horse.
in front of all of you.
Yeah.
Have you
Sure.
seen the video of a hippo absolutely crushing a watermelon?
Yes. They're the most
That's pretty
dangerous
wild.
animal in Africa, isn't it? Or is it the mosquito?
Yeah, they kill
I'm
like
pretty sure
500
it's
people.
I think it's mosquito.
I think it's
Definitely
mosquito.
mosquito,
And
but-
it's
Mosquitoes
like
are OP. Mosquitoes are the ones
Actually, that's
that
a good
Dude.
point. Yeah.
Dude, that's salmonella, dude.
Dude, yeah, we're forgetting about the bugs, dude.
Yeah.
So now we're watching a hippo, and I'm not sure why we're
This
watching.
podcast has been
Do some ASMR in that.
through
Here we
like
go. Okay, just give them the watermelon already. Okay, here we go.
Oh, okay. We're gonna watch a hippo eat a
He's
watermelon.
gonna put his hand in there.
no, look at the size of the mouth.
I feel like he should have done it by now.
Dude, put your head
They're
in that.
pretty-
here
Put
we
your
go.
head in that hippo,
Some look
dude.
pretty ugly looking.
Yeah.
Imagine that being your head right now.
Okay.
It's ready, dude.
Yeah.
He's like
He's
giving.
ready to go.
He does it all day for the.
He's not playing around.
This guy looks like he's giving some
Because
some kind of show here at some kind of zoo maybe.
Look at that.
Oh, just crushed.
good.
Just
That's pretty
crushed.
impressive.
That's look at the muscle on its jaw. Do you see that?
Yeah, it's like a saxophone.
Dude, can you
Yeah,
guys
imagine that
imagine
being
what it
your
would
face.
Dude, that's bigger than my face.
be? Do you know how tasty that would be? Just to eat a whole watermelon in one bite.
Oh, I thought you were talking about how
A
tasty an
face.
elephant, or I mean
Like
a
a whole-
hippo jaw would be.
Actually, eating. I wonder what hippo tastes like.
I know, me too, actually. Now that you said that.
Well, we were definitely
Or
part of
like-
this podcast.
So this
So what is the real purpose of
Dude, we've
the
gone
zoo?
through so many
so this
transitions.
guy, this Aussie hunter from Australia, he was on the Joe Rogan podcast and he killed a mountain lion and they gave it to his family. Didn't say what it was. Apparently, it was delicious.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Lion.
Gotcha.
So, and then it's not like we can just like go to the like Fairway and get mountain lion.
Yeah.
I wonder if people would actually try squirrel and like it if they didn't know it was squirrel.
I think that this is something that other places do, and I've heard about students like hunting squirrels on campus and getting in
That'd
trouble
be
because it's not culturally okay.
Easy. It'd be
I-
easy to do
I
that.
feel like it's
Yeah.
kind of in our DNA to hunt squirrels just because it seems like a pretty easy target, like when we're first starting out as
It already
hunter gatherers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, I would love squirrels.
Absolutely.
I've eaten squirrel before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
What
you
it tastes
shot
like?
it and you
Yeah.
shoot it or your sister shoot it?
Yeah, squirrel stew. Delicious. With some biscuits on the side.
Oh yeah. What did it taste
Yeah.
like?
Tasted like, chicken.
Classic.
That's what everyone says.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you boys have anything else?
Oh man, I'm like
about
really
it.
tired right now.
That's
How
pretty
long
solid.
is this?
Good
How long
time.
is
45 minutes at least.
this? Dang.
Yeah. All right. Well, for Thomas Galloway,
Evan Isabel.
Noah Galloway.
Caden Silva.
Dane Christner.
everyone have a great night.